Hello everybody, this is my first live stream. Now it probably looks like I'm pretty satanic right now because of my laptop light, but maybe I can move that aside so it's not so awful. So I want to thank Nick for being the first one on and actually watching. Thank you very much, Nick. I appreciate that. Now there's a 15-second delay from what I read to what I answer, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, let's have fun with this. This is obviously just a test. So I'm open to anything you guys want to say. So if it will drop out or I'll add something or I'll go off and add a light somewhere, don't be offended by that. Just have fun with it. So actually I am going to change the lights real quick. So if you want to write down a question or something about that, I'll be right back. Just give me a second. Alrighty, that looks 10 times better. Okay, so I actually had no idea what to talk about. I just wanted to see if this whole live streaming thing would work. You're welcome, Nick. No problem. I tried to get Ryan on, but he's off having fun with a friend. He's playing a game or something. So Nick, do you have any questions? Ah, that was good. I'm reading right now, so that's weird. I'm watching myself 15 seconds behind, so that's really weird. This is so much fun. Alright, well, I'm probably going to guess he has a technical thing. Not as of now. Oh, come on, man. Whatever. I'm going to guess you're probably going to have a technical question like computer building or something of that nature. But I guess I can start with that and we'll flow from there. Actually, let's talk about my dream build. I don't have any of these parts, or probably won't have any of these parts for a long time, but I would like to have a Titan X because it's just a beautiful, gorgeous looking card. And I don't think I'll ever need to buy another card ever until that one fails and then just refund it or something, because I don't think I'll ever need a card ever if I buy a Titan X. Now, CPU, there's a lot of argument and controversy about what CPU you should get, whether it's a server rig or a gaming rig or just a basic computing rig, because there's many different types of CPUs out there. Now, obviously, I'm an Intel fan, so Intel and NVIDIA, that's what I believe is the best combination you get for price to performance, or performance to cooling, and performance to pretty much anything else you want to make a category out of. But if you're going to make like a high-end build, like a high-end desktop build that's easily over $1,000 or anything like that, or $1,500 or even to $2,000, look for either a high-end i5 or pretty basic i7. Why? Because, well, they clock those on purpose to work in that price range and that performance range. I've seen some rigs that are like $800-ish, $1,000 where there's like a Pentium or something in there, but no, especially with like the new anniversary Pentium. I forgot the actual term or name for it yet, but you can make it work. Like the anniversary one I was talking about, it's like the Pentium G 3578 or something like that. If you know the name, please type it down so I don't sound like an idiot for the rest of this video or rest of this live stream. That's cool. Never got to say that. Okay, you can clock it up, or it is clocked up at like 3.2 or something around that range, and it does deliver some pretty good performance. But it's a dual core, which, if you're not familiar with the terms of when I say number of cores for CPU, it's basically how many things it can do at once and how many threads it has, which is how many things it can do at once correctly. So right now my machine has a 4700 HQ i7 processor. Now that's allowing me to do this pretty well, and I could play a game right now if I needed to. Nothing like, I don't know, BioShock Infinite or Crisis 3 or something of that highish nature, but I can play Minecraft, little bit of Tomb Raider and stuff like that at low settings, or Minecraft at high settings. But there's still problems because since it's a mobile processor, it's an HQ, it has some drawback. But I would rather prefer the CPU I have in this machine rather than a Pentium or a high i3, because that's just how that rolls. I mean, I'm pretty, well, I'm a stickler about that type of thing. Excuse me, I won't take a drink because it's my show. I can take a drink whenever I want. Arizona Sweet Tea. They should sponsor me and give me money. Also, peanut butter M&Ms or peanut M&Ms. I'm eating those too. Now, when you're looking in for CPUs for a gaming rig, I'm gonna specialize on gaming rigs because that's probably the most I will come encounter with when people are asking me about computer builds. And yeah, basically it goes for the same high i3, mid to even high i7. Now, I'm not saying buy a 4970 or 4790K or anything of that nature. Oh, I just dropped some frames. Sorry, guys. Guess I'm pushing this system just a little too hard. Which, yeah, even this i7's just having some issues. I just dropped a lot more frames. I'm sorry. That's really weird. I'll have to write that down in my notes. Anything. Oh, wow, I'm dropping a lot. Oh, no. Ooh. Anyways, it probably is still rolling fine. Anyways, what I was saying. So, high i5, mid to high i7. And it also depends on what kind of games you play. What are you doing other than gaming? If you're just strictly gaming, that's it. Like your hardcore 60 FPS, NVIDIA Surround or iFinity, then probably a 4790K would be your best option. Or if you're just using it to game and then YouTube and YouTube to basic usage, then maybe you can strip down the price of your rig a little bit by using the 4690K, or which is the i5's version of that. But yeah, then you go into different architectures of the CPUs, like the Sandy Bridge or the Ivy Bridge or whatever you want to call it. Well, whatever. I don't really want to talk about CPUs anymore because it's not exactly my field of expertise. I'm better off in GPUs or different types of RAM. But basically, if you're looking for something of that range, you start building your rig from the CPU up. So basically, you use the CPU as the ground and then you move up. Motherboards, you can almost find any cheap motherboard if it has good power efficiency. Oh, my phone is ringing. Excuse me for a second. Ugh. Oh, it's my friend Rhett. Cool. It's on now. Huh, my friend Rhett's trying to join. I want to see if, give me a second for a second. Oh, give me a second. I want to see if I can pull up my YouTube and see if it's really easy for people to find this, because he's trying to find this. Go to my channel. Alright, so if I just type in JPW Studios, it should just pop up. Still there, Nick? Hope you're still there. Oh, that would be incredibly awkward. Cool, alright. Hope you can join. Anyways, what was I talking about? Motherboards. Yeah, you can almost find any cheap motherboard that's in your price range and also matches the size of the rig that you're trying to build. Like you can go mini ITX, micro ATX, all the way up to full size ATX or server grade. But since we're special right now, I'm talking about gaming rigs. Probably a full ITX to about micro ATX or something. Or sorry, full ATX to micro ATX would probably be in the fields that you guys are looking for, or what you would plan to look for or plan to do in general. So I'm going to take another drink while I think of other things to say. That's good stuff. My favorite to use, or the ones that we've used in our house, is ATX rig or mid ATX rig. Why? Because one, it's still pretty compact, so you can stick it under your desk or on the side of your desk and it won't get in the way or anything like that. And it's still roomy enough that you can easily move around inside and do some cable management, replacing parts, upgrading parts, which you have to think about because every 2-ish years or so there's a new innovation or a new step up or an upgrade of computer parts. Now that's just how that system rolls. And if you play your cards right, if you kind of shoot for the highest you can get, like I remember when 1120 socket CPUs were like the highest you can get, and so a lot of people were buying them, and now they're like the most common. Especially now since Sandy Bridge came out, they're like extremely common now because everybody used them when it was high end, and now since we have the new 2011-3 sockets, they went down in price, and people are like, performance price is low, so they build a bunch of rigs after that. Like almost every gaming rig you see on or really anything, you can look it up on YouTube, you can look it up on PC Part Picker, Newegg. A lot of rigs are built around those CPUs because one, they're pretty cheap as is, and they run pretty well. I mean, when I was thinking about making or building my own rig, I was thinking of the 4790K, so I have no problem with that. Anyways, let's go talk about RAM. You can, for gaming, you can kind of get away with almost any type of RAM, almost. Low speed RAM doesn't really matter. High speed RAM doesn't really matter. So if you can find like 1600 megahertz or even as low as 1333 megahertz, sorry, you can get away with it. Oh, hey, I got 2 people watching. That's pretty cool. Thanks, guys. This is an open Q&A, so if you want me to stop talking about computers, just tell me. But it will take about 15 seconds for me to read it because that's the conversion rate. I see myself live here, but this is 15 seconds behind, and this is what you guys will see. So if you write down a question, it'll take 15 seconds for me to see it. Sorry, that's just how this is set up. And oh, right, no, I'm not building my own rig right now. I have a rig. It's my laptop. I like my laptop, and I really don't want to change anything about it because, well, it's pretty souped up as it is. It's got 12 gigs of RAM in it, which is more than you possibly need, which was what I was about to go into. When you're buying RAM, find a good set of an 8 gig or an 8 gig set that's pretty cheap, almost at any speed, and if you want to make it match the color of your motherboard or something, buy it. There you go. That's about as easy as you can get. So this came with 12 out of the box, or out of the refurbished, which is okay. It's refurbished, but it runs well, so I don't really care. So this came with 12. I was like, sweet, because since I not only do gaming, this is also my everyday PC and my video editing PC. And those extra gigs that I have really help when I'm doing video rendering or video editing as it is, because After Effects is a very CPU intensive program, which I was about to go in. When you're finding a CPU and you found it, match up to how many cores you have to about 2 gigs of RAM per core. So if you have a quad core, around 8 gigs of RAM. If you have a dual core, around 4 gigs of RAM, because it uses about 1.5 gigs as is. So if you give it an extra 500 megabytes of RAM, you'll never bottleneck from your RAM. So there you go. No, I do not have a desktop anytime soon. I would like to, but since I'm doing a lot of things at school and a lot of things at home, and I don't want to switch on 2 computers or anything like that, pardon me, I opted for this setup because it's kind of like a desktop replacement. It's powerful enough that I can set it down and plug it in and use it like a desktop, but it's mobile enough that I can use its battery and still do stuff as needed. And since I am also using this for school, I can stop playing Tomb Raider or something like that and work on a PowerPoint or a Word document or finish writing my next script for my next movie. So that's why I did that. But I would like to have a desktop. I mean, that's my dream, to have a pretty souped up desktop, which I was talking in the beginning of this live stream, that I would center it around a GTX Titan X. That black car just looks really nice. And if you don't believe me, look it up. It's a really sexy card, and I really want one. If I could, I'd get 2, because, you know, why not? Excuse me. And thank you for joining me, Red. That's pretty cool. I have a friend named Nick who goes to, or actually works at my church. That is on here too. Hopefully he's still on. Oh, Rhett, the movie I'm talking about is Marcus. The My Name is Marcus thing. Oops, bumped my mic. But I'm surprised you didn't know about that. I gave a lot of publicity. There's even a teaser up on my YouTube channel, so if you want to watch that, it's there. I have about a minute of the film done. I need around 4 or 5 more minutes for the competition that I'm about to go to, so I'm working on it. I'm going there. Kind of running out of ideas to talk about. Computers is awesome and all, but I can't talk about it for 30 minutes. I got 15 minutes left, so if you guys want to ask another question, go for it. This is super cool. The fact that I'm doing this is pretty cool. Like, I remember back when I used to live in Georgia, like 2007, when I heard dial-up for the first time. And yeah, Keller Film Festival is one of them, but there's more that I have to do, like South by Southwest or anything like that, but I don't really have a lot of information. I'm making this short film so I can send it off wherever it can go. But anyways, the fact that I'm doing this is super cool, because dial-up, its fastest speed that we got at our house was about a megabyte in and about a kilobyte out, or like 10 kilobytes out. And nowadays we have 100 megs coming in and more than that coming out. And there's some places in the US using things like, I don't know, like Charter Spectrum or Fios or something of that one that uses Firewire or fiber cable that have a gig of bandwidth. A gig! Can you imagine what you can do with a gig of bandwidth? My head would explode for how much data I can just go in my own office, or to my friend who lives in New York, to the space station, because that's where my other friend works, or something like that. However the future wants to deal with a gig of bandwidth wherever you go. And the fact that I'm talking about computers that use 8 gigs of RAM. My phone has 3 gigs of RAM. 3. I have a Raspberry Pi unit that I made a laptop out of that has 1 gig of RAM. That thing costs $35. Let me show you what I did with it. Hold on. This is what I made. That's what I made right here. This is called a Raspberry Pi computer. It's a Linux-based computer. It's got a quad-core CPU in it that I clocked up to 1 gigahertz, and it runs off 5 volts. And this is a Android laptop from an old phone that has been discontinued that I repurposed. But this is an entire computer that literally fits in the palm of your hand that I gaff taped to a dock so I can use it as a laptop. That's cool. However you want to put it, that's cool. Technology is awesome, and without it, the world would be a much, much bigger place and a lot scarier too. Oh, that sounded profound, but it probably wasn't, so oh well. I'm surprised you guys are still watching. I think this would be too boring for people to watch, but I thank you for your time to sticking with it. I only got about 12-ish minutes left before I have to sign off, or when I say I'm going to sign off. The fact is, this is cool. I like doing this, and hopefully I'll be able to do this more. And to be a little more prepared as it is. Right now I'm literally talking out of my butt here. I'm literally grabbing stuff and talking about it, because why not? But you guys are all awesome. The fact that I have like 18 subscribers since June is a little mind-boggling to me. It's cool on how this website does this. I mean, in 2005, when YouTube was made, they never thought it would actually go off the ground, and now it's one of the largest sites ever, besides Google, which is owned by YouTube. Alright, so what do I want to talk about right now? Well, I guess I can talk about this channel a little bit. I made a trailer for this channel, or a little commercial for it, a while back, but I'm going to reiterate on some things. Also, before I start, tell me what the quality is. It should be at 720, and it should look pretty clean. If not, let me know, and I will see if I can mess with some settings. But anyways, this channel is really for me to promote myself, my name, my brand, and me as in general, and to practice being in front of camera, off camera, writing, directing, doing everything that I do. Basically, this is almost like a journal, and well, yeah, this is basically a journal. So everything that I feel like doing, things that I need to do, have to do, or just would like to do, this is the channel that I have for that. And today I felt like trying live streaming, so that's the reason why I did this. There's no specific reason why I did this today. Hey, I have 3. Thank you, whoever just joined. But basically, yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing this channel, is to promote myself and to practice and hone my skills, so when I go out in the real world and do this for real, and for a job where people are expecting me to do things, I'll be able to do it and do it well and excel much more. And I think that is what everybody should strive to do. If you're doing something, find your flaws, work on them, and then keep going from there until you find another flaw, or you find a solution for a flaw for someone else so they can get up, or they can help other people. Oh, thank you, Rhett. Oh, I'll write that down. Sorry, if you write a question, it's going to take me about 15 seconds for me to answer it, because that's the delay that I have here. So if you write a question, just chill, and I'll answer it for you. But thank you, Rhett. I'll write that down. Anyways, what I was saying, if you want to excel in something, that's what you do. You find your flaws, you put away your ego, and kind of just go with it. Now, I'm not going to say that's what I do all the time. But anyways, this is cool. Oh, I had 3. Then that guy went away. I guess he wasn't cool enough. Oh well. Yeah. Actually, I think I'm gonna end it here. Thank you very much, guys. If you decided to stick with it and watch it. I know I didn't go as long as I thought I was going to do, but I have 8 minutes left, and that's a long time for me not being prepared to do anything. But thank you guys for sticking in and asking questions, and I had a lot of fun. Hopefully I can do this a lot more. Oh, before I go, I'm going to answer Nick's question. If you go, actually, I may be able to do that before I go. Hold on. Don't leave just yet. All right, right now you're seeing my web browser. Now I'm going to adjust it so you guys can see it just a little better. Nick, this is how I did it. I'm going to open a new tab and go to YouTube. Now I'm already signed in as me, so all this My Channel stuff will go to My Channel. Go to your viewage so it goes to your Creator Studio. Live streaming. Right now, since I am live streaming, it will pop up here, and then you'll see this screen and it'll show you what's going on. So right now you just saw this. So, excuse me, I just bipped. Anyways, but that's how you do it if you want to know how to do that, Nick. Bye, guys. I'm just now seeing your comments because I was focused on doing something else. But thank you very much for sticking in. I enjoyed your questions. I enjoyed talking with you guys. And hopefully I'll be able to do this a lot more often. Maybe I can have like a set date where I do stuff. But anyways, thank you very much. I will see you guys later. Have a great day.